Alcohol Beyond This Point podcast.
This isn't two podcasters talking business. This is two business guys trying to podcast.
So we had already been recording for 10 minutes when I realized that the waveforms on the recording look kind of weird. So I got Tyler speaking to his mic, couldn't really hear anything. I'm like, what, is your mic disconnected? So we're going around looking if the mic's disconnected. No, it was just recording off of the microphone on my webcam on the desktop computer across the room. So the first 10 minutes of our conversation is you will not hear. So,
and we're going to try it again and it'll be worse. So,
so welcome back to Alcohol Beyond This Point, the podcast where we debate business topics, both sober and drunk, to see if we come to the same conclusions. Tyler is here and Willows is me. And we were talking about Netflix. They just announced, as of we're recording this, literally 2 hours ago, they announced exactly their plans for the password sharing thing. So the specifics are you're gonna have a home base IP address or whatever, device, and you have to log into it once every 31 days to make that your one device. And so if you want to go to another device, then you have to text yourself a code and then use that code, and then you can temporarily use that other device as your main, as something you can watch Netflix on. So you're no longer going to be able to watch. And it was frequently asked questions. It was if my family doesn't live with me, or I'm in a long distance relationship, or any of this stuff, can I watch the Netflix? And it's no, you cannot. Nice job, fucko. So you were asking about the screens, because you pay for the one with 4 screens available.
Yeah.
And as far as I could tell, it looked like they're either, that's you're going to need to pay for that just to have 4 different screens in your own house for it to not be annoying.
I don't have that many children.
Well, that's what I'm saying is
cats.
So if you want the exact wording of how Netflix is phrasing it, I just made a TikTok about this on Drunk Dividends, my stock trading account. So that's TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter, Drunk Dividends. You can check out that TikTok to see the exact wording. It'll be out by the time you're hearing this.
But yeah, the stock price of Netflix basically tanked last June when lockdowns.
But that's
stopped.
when all the tech stocks have
right.
fucking crashed over the last little bit.
Yeah, and Netflix itself has really been having an issue with growth because they pretty much everybody that can afford it is
already using it. Yeah. So the stock, when they announced, their stock's up 40% year to date.
Yeah.
When they announced this, it was up 10%, and now on giving the details that seem pretty restrictive to me, it's up another 3%.
Yeah.
So investors seem to like this.
Yeah.
Right?
And I just looked, and the stock is up year to date, like you said, but on a rolling 1 year, it's still down 16%, but it's steadily coming back.
But rolling 1 year, Meta's down 100%. So
well, rolling, yeah, and it was at the low, it was down 40. Now it's only down 15.
Yeah. So, because remember when you go down 10%, you have to go back up 20%, right?
Right.
Percentages are weird. You have to.
Well, no, I'm just thinking I'm talking percentage of the peak.
Yeah. So, so what do you think? Because in my opinion, it seems like they're going to lose a bunch of subscribers. But then I was talking to my business partner, Zach, about this, and he was just saying, are all the people that are mad about this, are they even paying for Netflix? Maybe they're the second ones. That's why they're pissed on Twitter.
I'm assuming they've been talking about doing this for a long time. I'm assuming they probably did a big meta study or a survey across all their users, would you can't cancel your account if this was going to happen? Or so they're probably going to get less cancellations than you think.
Well, surely they're going to get less cancellations than the revenue brings in from the people new people buying it because they can't share an account anymore.
Yeah.
That's the only. And
people are going to forget about the whole you used to be able to share your password thing in 6 months anyways, or less.
Yeah, I guess the new every new 18-year-old that's buying Netflix because they're not buying a fucking cable package when they move out.
Yeah.
It's going to be one of those things back in my day, you could share the password. And
yeah, exactly. The news cycle will get over it, and it'll be fucking old news by next quarter.
I guess, now that I think about that, now that I put that in perspective, it's you can't fucking share your cable package with a friend just because they pay half of it. You can't have it in 2 two houses.
Yeah, Netflix is unique in that manner, and I think the multiple screens thing was kind of like their half measure.
Yeah.
But now they're just going all the way in. Which, I mean, the only big pain in the ass is like all the people that are sharing my account are gonna lose like their Netflix watching algorithm, like all the shows they watch and their lists and all that shit.
Yeah. I guess that sucks, but whatever.
Yeah. I mean, my account got hacked, whatever, not too long ago, and just like everything got wiped off of it.
Yeah, I remember when it was like you log in one day and it's like Tyler and your mom, and then like Julio has an account.
Yeah, and I'm like, who the fuck? They're just like, they just deleted all the profiles except for the main one, obviously, and they started making some new ones and renamed them. And I'm like, you're just like making it your thing now. It's like, this is. I caught it within like 6 minutes too.
Yeah,
and they were already going ham. And it's like, this is fucking weird. But
I wonder if that's like you're buying a hacked Netflix password on like the secondary market.
Maybe.
You know what I mean? Because like, and that like, because why would they change it to like their own name?
Yeah.
Like they're gonna use it, right? Like.
Yeah. So
maybe it's like somebody else is like, oh, we're selling Netflix subscriptions only $2.
Yeah, and then the guy gets to use it for 6 minutes and gets booted.
Yeah.
He's like,
because
fuck.
he bought it on the fucking dark web or something, right?
Maybe.
Who knows?
It's a business idea.
It was absolutely your mother that fell for a phishing scam, 100%.
No, she doesn't have the.
I thought she uses it.
Well, she uses it, but like the.
So she has the password if she uses it.
She doesn't have it memorized.
Yeah, I can.
My mom doesn't.
She's like has a piece of paper like this.
No, she like would text me for the password if she wanted. Like I logged into her devices, so if she got a phishing scam, she wouldn't have been able to type in the info. She doesn't have it on her phone. It's just like on her TV. Nobody's phishing her TV.
Okay, it was Zach then.
Now my password's just like one of those long auto-generated passwords, and it's like no one's fucking remembering that anyways.
So I was refreshing my memory, but Netflix is owned 10% by 10% of Netflix is owned by Vanguard, 7% is owned by BlackRock.
Wow, like everything?
Yeah, like everything. But it's like, so these giant hedge funds own most of Netflix. So
Or the largest single share.
Yeah, so surely they're consulting with them, likely, right? Like, yeah, BlackRock has a lot of goddamn money and a lot of goddamn people that can research, and surely they put in an algorithm and they're going to make more money on more people subscribing than they're going to lose from the outrage from this.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, some other person will get killed by the police and we'll forget about it. Maybe another mass shooting or 2 or 3 or 4. Or
I tweeted about this Netflix. I'm like, short Netflix as soon as I can't use my mom's account for free anymore. And someone was like, yeah, I bought a bunch of puts, but it just keeps going up and I'm scared. And I'm like, so hopefully your puts expire after the quarterly, and the quarterly reflects that they lost a bunch of subscribers and then they'll pay off. But like, yeah, I don't know. Like, and then I saw Facebook today, or Meta, they had their quarterly report today, and they came in way under, like billions under, mainly because they burned a bunch of money in the metaverse. Sure. But then, and remember, they laid off like fucking 15,000 people or something insane. And then they're like, but by the way, guys, we're buying back $20 billion of stock.
Right.
And they announced, you always do your quarterly after markets closed. Right. That's just very standard because you don't want it to affect trading day. But after hours trading, Meta's up 18%. Because it kind of seems like it's like, okay, we've downsized, we've cut the fat, and now we're planning for our stock to fucking rocket, so we're buying back as much stock as we can to keep the money for ourselves.
Right.
So, yeah.
Well, the stock buyback, part of that 18% rip is probably their own money, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, we'll see, right?
Almost certainly.
We'll see when market opens tomorrow.
Poor Zuck.
Yeah.
I don't know. I still don't know where the fuck to stand on Meta.
I think at this point, if you're not long Meta, you're missing the point. Like I think they're one of the companies that's gonna go the distance.
As long as they got the staying power, I believe in the idea. But can they hold out long enough for that inflection of society to be like, okay, now we're in VR?
I think they're the ones to do it, if anyone's going to do it.
Yeah.
So
no, I would agree. But
I think they're the. I think anyone that's not long them at this point, like, either don't have a position or be long. But I think anyone that's betting against Meta at this point,
No, I wouldn't bet against
is going to
them.
get proved wrong.
No,
I'm pretty sure.
I wouldn't bet against him in the near future.
And then it's also funny, like Jim Cramer had a thing like 6 months ago where he told people to buy Meta, and then it went down 70%, and he was crying. Since he got on TV saying he gave up on Meta, it's up like 80% since then. It's incredible.
He doesn't miss.
It's incredible. Like, it's almost...
He doesn't not miss.
It's almost like spooky. Like, it's incredible.
Like, how are you Jim Cramer and not in awe? Like, I bet he's probably put his life savings into the anti-Kramer ETF.
To hedge, right?
Yeah.
It's like...
No, not even to hedge. It's just because he knows. He's like, everything I say is going to be wrong, so I'm just going to put my money in the opposite.
It's like
Well,
betting...
to be fair, I don't think they're allowed to buy stocks.
No, he owns a bunch of stocks.
But they're not allowed to, like, trade, though.
Yeah, he is. That's his whole show. Is he's telling what he's buying and selling. That's his whole thing.
No, he's giving advice. Like, the people on the shows, like, people on TV, giving it, like, the...
No, he absolutely does. Like,
I've
watched the show.
What about the worldwide exchange people? Like, they said they legally cannot trade. Because it's considered like an... Because anything they do could be construed as manipulation.
You just have to disclose that you have a stake in the company that you're talking about. That's all you have to do.
No, he was saying that you cannot. He's like, why can't I fucking remember his name? I listen to this every morning. The CNBC Worldwide Exchange, the host, he was talking about. He's like, I'm not allowed to trade stocks, but this fucking congressmen and senators can. And he's like, because if I did it, it would be, I'd be on the hook for stock manipulation. He's like, I can't. He's like, he can have a someone managing his portfolio. He cannot directly control his portfolio, though.
Maybe it's a contract with CNBC thing. I'm pretty sure that's not. You just have to. I know, like, Jim Cramer absolutely has a stock portfolio himself, and like, if you ever read an article or whatever talking about it, it's just at the bottom they put a footnote that's like, I do have stake in this for the record.
Interesting.
Or if you ever read a article about Bitcoin or anything, it's always like, yep, for the record, I do own Bitcoin. Like,
right.
Yeah. You just have to disclose that you have a stake in in what you're promoting, right?
Yeah, I don't even know what to look up. Anyways, that's a fucking research thing for another day. But yeah, that seems like something you shouldn't be able to do.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that, but then I also, like, if Congress people can trade stocks, then I don't see why TV personalities can't trade stocks.
Right, that's a whataboutism of something they're both wrong.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't know. I think it's like dupers and doopies. If you're gonna, like, I don't give a shit. Like,
dupers and doopies.
But then,
the
like,
doopies are gonna fuck the dupers eventually.
But then, like, because, like, market manipulation is its own law, right?
Right.
So, like, maybe you could get in trouble. You could get arrested and charged by the FTC for market manipulation, perhaps.
Yeah.
Right. But typically, I know that, like, that's a way out of market manipulation charges is disclosing what you're saying and why. Like, whether you own a stake. Like, Elon doesn't get market manipulation charges.
Well,
because
he's currently getting...
Well, not on Tesla. He was getting it on... They charged him at Dogecoin, right?
No, he's getting sued. He's getting sued because he said he was taking Tesla private, and they're suing him for...
I thought they resolved that.
No, it's still current. It's happening, like, now.
Okay. Because the FTC resolved it. They just made it so
like, this is a lawsuit.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not market manipulation. It's like it's a civil lawsuit.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Apparently, because he proved to the FTC, apparently, that he did have the money in place to take it private. Therefore, it wasn't illegal what he did. And then they gave him the largest fine ever handed out by the FTC and made it so he couldn't be on the board of Tesla.
Right. But now the civil lawsuit has uncovered the fact that he didn't have any money lined up.
Isn't he, like, friends with Saudis, though? He just...
Like,
I feel like that's...
He said he spoke to them, and he's like, they would have, but he doesn't have anything in writing, and he doesn't have any verbal or, like, written commitments to it.
But that's also how the Saudis do business, right? Like,
Right. So
handshake.
it's in a gray area right now, and obviously a civil case is going to go a lot different compared to an FTC investigation. They're looking for criminal liability versus.
Well, I think FTC is a civil organization.
I'm pretty sure you can get thrown in jail for FTC regulations or violating.
I'm pretty sure you can't. I'm pretty sure they
Can the FTC throw you in jail? That's a quick Goog.
I'm pretty sure they come in afterwards if you get charged, if you get found innocent of criminal proceedings, they come in to do a civil proceeding. I'm like 90% sure.
Okay, so yeah, FTC is civil law
Got 'em.
enforcement, but while we can't put people in jail, many of our partners can and do.
That's them saying that?
Yeah.
That's funny.
Including the DOJ, U.S. attorneys, federal, state, local, and criminal law enforcers.
Yeah, because if you get found innocent by the DOJ, then FTC comes in to try and do civil stuff, typically. Or vice versa. Here's a good one. If you get found guilty by the DOJ
Yeah,
for whatever, market manipulation, then the FTC comes in
right.
and they go to court and you're like, what's your evidence? And they're like, my evidence is that he was found guilty doing it.
Right.
So therefore, and then 99% of the time the judge is like, yep, that's pretty good evidence because they already did an investigation.
Yeah.
And you're like, damn it. So
Yeah, that's usually how it happens. It's
yeah.
like with Trump, and like the Trump organization got convicted of criminal tax fraud.
like based.
Yeah, and they're getting
Every time a liberal tweets stuff like that, I always respond like, stop making me like Trump more.
and he's like but they're like getting, I don't know if any of them are getting jail time, but they're getting the maximum fines. I know for sure.
Which is, you just never pay it, right? Whoops, sorry, my holding company that owns a trust that owns a holding company went bankrupt. Whoops, can't pay the fine.
No, it's personal.
Okay.
Like they have fines against them personally
Yeah.
from the IRS, which is like the worst kind of fine, because if you have, like, I know somebody that had like that happen to them, but with a CRA, and you just can't get a mortgage. Like
You can't get any benefits from anything
your credit's fucked
because they just take it off the top.
yeah, and they garnish your wages.
Yeah.
Oops.
Ruh-roh raggy.
But
Did you see Trump's fucking thing today with the
No.
trans rights thing?
Oh right,
He
yeah,
just-
I saw a glance at it.
it was
Yeah.
bizarre. He's like in a room where it's like super zoomed in on his face,
Nice.
and he's just like, I will repeal all of Joe Biden's gender affirming surgery things. He's like, he'll make it illegal for anyone to transition below 18 or whatever federally, cut off all funding for health insurers to insure it even for adults, like anything related to transitions and whatever. Which is like, as far as I know, a pretty big policy shift for him. Like, he was pretty libertarian
he's
for a
pretty
long
ambivalent
time,
about
where
it,
he's
yeah.
like, I don't really give a shit what people
Well,
do,
I can tell you exactly why. Is
because
because
he's trying to appeal to the DeSantis base, right?
I was gonna say, because he's in a culture war, one-upsmanship battle with DeSantis, and he's going at DeSantis directly now.
Yeah, I wonder if
He's got to
like,
show that he can be a bigger bigot, and that's it.
I wonder if, because that makes me like him less. Like, at least
It's broadly unpopular, but it doesn't matter because it's not going to alienate a lot of his crucial base.
when I'm like, I don't like any politicians, but I liked Trump because he was funny. And he's like exactly what America deserved. Like, that chaos, like January
Yeah.
6th, like didn't go far enough in my opinion. So
Yeah, that could have gone a lot farther.
no one did anything. Like, they found a guy with a backpack of a C4, right? Like, that could have gone
It
off.
got
and like,
close.
yeah, but man, come on.
Like, there was, I
You
mean,
know when, like,
the
the-
4 pipe bombs that they
Yeah,
found,
yeah.
they didn't go off, but that was
Yeah.
that was probably a distraction. Probably wasn't. They probably weren't going to go
Yeah,
off.
who the fuck knows?
Well, that was what, like, that's the thing that most people don't get, is they're like, oh, it was just like this peaceful protest. No, it was a fucking synchronized attack, because they had bombs.
Not synchronized enough.
Yeah, they had bombs
Evidently.
planted at the perimeter of basically where the Capitol Police patrol, like right at the outer limit. So they had to pull like 30 or 40% of their troops out of the building to deal with this bomb threat. and then while they were out, then they went to the Capitol building. So there was like a severely weakened force, and they were all kind of split up and all over the place. So it's like that worked really well, and they were like 11 seconds from getting Pence.
There's a movie.
It was fucking close.
There's a movie. I forget the name. I don't think it's great, but it's they're doing a bank heist or something, and they kill a cop on the other side of the city because it's like LAPD tradition that if a cop gets shot, you like everyone goes there to try and like get revenge on the people that killed him.
Right.
Even though that's like not what you're supposed to do policy wise, but that's just like what the cops do.
No shit.
So like we need to fucking kill that guy. So they kill a cop on the other side of town on purpose to get everyone away from responding to the like heists that they're doing. And then I think like the main character or something like has a moral problem with killing the cop, or that, and that's the conflict in the movie. But
fuck off, buddy.
Yeah.
Come on.
But
that's where you draw the line.
I don't even remember what it's called, but I'm pretty sure that's the plot. But whatever.
Yeah.
I was gonna say about 9/11.
Heard of it?
So when the plane
The
hit
number you call?
did you know they actually named 911 after 9/11?
Yeah.
It used to be you just couldn't call the cops.
It used to be 999 actually.
No, no, it's not true.
It is somewhere.
In England.
Where?
No, I think it's 000 in England. It's fun fact: the first city to introduce 911 that goes direct to cops, Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. Fun fact.
No, first place in Canada to do it.
In North America.
First place in North America?
Yeah.
Okay. First stoplight in the world was Cleveland, and I know which one it is.
Okay. So 9/11, right? You know how like the plane hit the first building?
In Cleveland?
And we're like, how can this get any worse?
Yeah.
And then it's like, holy shit, second plane? That's what I was hoping was happening.
And then the Tomahawk hit the Pentagon?
No.
And then Building 7 just
No. That
just
didn't happen.
spontaneously combusted?
So that's what I was hoping was going to happen with Jan 6. Where like a fucking tank just like came in. You're like, oh, I thought it couldn't get any worse. And then there was an actual like I would.
Well, that they did though. I've
always said Trump should have just committed, because if he committed and failed, he could live like a fucking king in Russia.
Yeah.
Putin would have been like, you know what? Good try, buddy. And he could have lived like a fucking oligarch playing fucking
or the Saudis,
golf.
honestly.
The Saudis probably too, right? The Saudis did 9/11.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like
Bush did 9/11. The Saudis helped.
One of my favorite things is there's a South Park episode about 9/11 where the kids are like investigating what happened. And it's like, so they find out that it was actually Bush did it, but then they investigate farther and it was actually like, Osama bin Laden like manipulating Bush. And then they look into it more and it was like Bush manipulating Osama bin Laden to manipulate Bush to do it. And then it was like the Illuminati and like all these people are involved. I think like Fox News is manipulating it's just like all this shit. And then at the end of it, they're all in the like Oval Office and everyone's screaming at each other. And then Stan's just like, wait. Who actually did it then? And then they're just like a bunch of pissed off Muslims. Like, duh. But
I have a feeling the real threat is pretty much along those lines. They didn't need much of a push, but they definitely were helped.
But, like,
and that's the CIA. That's the style of the CIA. That's what U.S. does.
if Trump had just gotten on TV and been like, "This is it, guys, bring your guns,"
Yeah.
like he could have won
That's-
easily.
Well, because you remember the second wave, right?
Yeah, but he didn't commit.
Yeah,
Is the problem.
yeah, there was the
halfway through, he got on TV and said, "Guys, I don't want you
not
to do
halfway
this."
through when it was already almost over.
Yeah, but it was like he didn't commit.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. If he went on TV, well, he wanted to go there
Yeah.
and do it, but he didn't have to go there. He honestly, when he was in the limo and he fucking attacked his driver for not going there, he could have sat back, gone on his phone, and just put up a tweet.
1886 or what was it? 1776 will commence again, and like it would have just
literally just like one tweet like that. That's like kind of vague, but also like the Nazis would totally get it. Like QRF would have rolled out, and I think my favorite quote was from it was from an ex-Marine who's like whatever the special forces group from the Marines.
Spetsnaz.
Yes. Was at the motel where the QRF was and said,
Hotel, motel, Holiday Inn.
and he said, this is a Marine from the Special Forces, said, I have never seen so many weapons in one place.
That's fine.
A Marine said that.
I think he was being hyperbolic.
I don't think so.
I think he was.
I don't, like, if he's saying that, that's fucking significant. Like, they probably had rocket launchers and shit, like grenades. Like, they had everything they needed, and the National Guard wasn't showing up for hours.
Dude, they
could have killed everyone.
They got into the building, right? If they had, like, automatic weapons and missile launchers and shit,
yeah,
they could have easily killed everyone, right?
They could have held,
Surely.
and they could have held the building and fought off the National Guard. And it would have been like a military standoff, and it would have gone for like another couple days. That would have been insane. Like if there was a military standoff in the Capitol building, and
imagine that election, that by-election, where we have to replace like 130 people because they're all dead.
Oh my god, yeah, or they're just like holding them hostage. Like, imagine the instability of the fucking, like, to bring it back. What would the stock market do if Congress...
I wonder if it just would have kept going up.
if the Capitol building was just, like, being held?
Yeah, probably crashed.
And Pence got, like, hung on a gallows in front?
Yeah, imagine, like, I can't...
Like, just think about it. And Trump, like, tweeting, it's like, all hail your new leader, blah, blah, blah.
Well, that's what
like,
QAnon thought he was going to do.
Yeah.
Was that he was going to declare himself the first president of the Republic of the United States,
yeah,
and change the government and go from there.
But I think the reality is, like, I think Trump would fuck around and find out real quick that the Secret Service is not actually on his
working
side.
for him. Yeah,
they're working for the state, protecting the state's interests.
And one might even make the argument that they're working for the deep state and not even the state's interest, right?
Certainly, yeah. So the second he fucks around, it's like, okay, now the Secret Service just like takes you away and disappears.
There is no doubt in my mind there's somebody in the Secret Service that is told to tackle Trump or Biden if they try to fucking nuke Korea. Like,
right. Well,
that's certain they don't have that power.
Well, you got to realize that the limo driver is like, we're not going to the building.
And it's like, I'm the president. Like, go to the building.
No, you can't override him.
No, I know, but that's what I'm saying. It's like, fuck off. I'm the president.
The security guard driving the limo can override the president in that situation.
It's like, fuck off. Change the law. You know what I mean?
Well, sometimes the president's a fucking idiot and is going to go get himself killed.
Sometimes.
Well,
my favorite, before we get off this topic, my favorite picture from that day was a bunch of them cowering under their fucking where they sit in the whatever, and then somebody took that and like very faintly put the lyrics to War Pigs by Black Sabbath, like where it's, you know, yeah,
that's nice.
Yeah, it's like whenever politicians are scared of their people, I'm a happy guy.
Yeah, in general, like the extreme measures that the government goes to like suppress the people because they're afraid of them. It's like, no, that's the point. That's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
You should be a little bit afraid.
And you know what else I'm a little bit afraid of? This next segment that we call Shot Caller, the part of the show where you, the audience, can pick the show.
Did you put more NGS in there?
Show shot that we take. I wish. We can do that next episode if you want. Just remind me.
No, I don't. If we cut it 50-50 with Old Smokey.
Business idea. So this week we're taking our good old... no, it's the watermelon... Something with watermelon.
Salty watermelon.
Salty watermelon Old Smokey. Yeah, don't get mad at me that we're taking the same shot every episode. We haven't had a sponsor in a while, and probably a recession, and my liquor cabinet's getting empty. So
also, get fucked. It's tasty.
If you want to sponsor us and have us drink something else, hit me up. Alcohol be on this point. Anyway, thank you.
This one is sponsored by Wayne's Backhoe.
True. Thank you, Wayne, for sponsoring this episode.
Actually, could we call Wayne for that project we got coming up? Do you have his number?
So what Tyler's inferring, I'm wearing a shirt that's Wayne's Backhoe, which is...
.com.
Shout out Wayne's Backhoe, I guess. So...
.com.
This is a guy at my cabin.
It's a champion sweater too.
No, that's why I'm wearing it. It's fucking nice.
That's a fucking proper sweater,
So-
dude. Mine's not even that nice.
My dad won it in a draw.
Dope.
And he gave it to me, and it's nice as fuck. Yeah, no, I was like, okay, I'm not gonna wear this like weird construction company at the cabin's like shitty merch. And then I take it and I'm like, this is a champion sweater. It's so soft on the inside. Like I'm
Yeah.
wearing this without a shirt
I have
because
two-
it's so nice.
I have 2 of those.
Yeah,
Oh, also like
what is like $100? I'm pretty sure these like
probably
fucking
about,
champion
yeah.
ones. Like so,
and for reference, I don't know if you're fucking watching this on youtube.com/
Vo Willows.
I actually have like a company sweater. So like logo
Which
on the
I
back, which
still
you
want
can
when
never
you-
see.
I still want one.
We don't have anything larger than a medium, so
Hey, maybe I'm a medium.
we're getting a new batch of merch. We're gonna get hats, toques, shirts, and sweaters. So when
Give
that
me-
comes in, I'll get you something.
Give me something, I'll wear it. I'm getting some new merch too, actually.
Ooh,
So
I'll wear your shit at work, and you wear my shit at work.
perfect. Well, I'm currently this hat is my other friend's company.
Yeah, no, it's
Dude.
a nice logo. I keep looking at it. I'm like, yeah, that's definitely an architect's logo.
That's
I love
like-
it. It's so clean.
That's like all I'm doing. That was I tweeted that in like there's a 21 Savage song where he's like, no, I think he tweeted it. He's like, I'm wearing only my own merch next year.
Right.
So I'm like, that's kind of like, yeah, like most of the clothes I wear, if I'm not wearing a suit,
It's small
it's
business
like
merch.
small business merch,
Which is
yeah.
awesome. It's like everyone's like, oh, I wear band shirts. It's like, no, I rep
Oh, yeah.
farmers market.
Yeah, most of
vendors.
my t-shirts are small breweries because I work in the industry, or like my friends' merch.
Yeah.
Yeah, like support your fucking people's
So
business.
Speaking of supporting your fucking peoples, I'm gonna propose something to you, a live business
Oh, God.
right now, right here. I think I've kind of mentioned it before, but like I haven't done it yet, but I don't care. This is really low stakes. It's more of a hobby. But I propose a partnership.
Okay, Tyler.
So I'm
pretty sure I proposed a partnership to you like a month ago, and you're like, I don't have any fucking time to partner with you, Willows.
this isn't immediate, but it's gonna be a hobby for sure.
Okay, continue.
Yeah, it's kind of based on the fact that like I really love what I do for a living, but there's parts of it that are like really enjoyable, and obviously there's parts of it that are a grind. And
Me having sex.
right, so there's a number of reasons for this, but basically I'm just like, I want to actually do some art, and I'm like, I'm not good at drawing. I know I'm not really good at painting. So I'm like, okay, I think I want to do, like, I'm good with my hands, I'm good with tools, and in a way that I think, like, 99.9% of people just aren't, because I just do it every day, right? So, and I'm uniquely accustomed to working with diamond, abrasive tools and hard materials. I'm like, okay, I want to do sculptures. I'm like, wait, that's like an established thing, making sculptures out of stone. Okay. There's something there. And like, but I don't want to do like make an animal or make a thing, whatever. I just want to like make something weird and interesting out of some weird product. Like make it out of like, locally in Manitoba we have something called Tyndallstone, which actually just got added to one of the list of the global like heritage or important key materials,
That was
whatever the
cool.
fuck. So it's
That's
like
cool.
Carrara marble's on there, like the limestone that built the pyramids is on there, and now this like stone from
Tyndall, Manitoba.
yeah, from like
Yeah.
2 hours from here is
Yeah.
also on that list. So I think kind of in light of that, I'm going to take blocks of stone, and I could probably get these things for fucking free because I'm friends with the owner.
Let's go to the fucking quarry and rob it.
No,
Let's heist the goddamn
no.
quarry.
You don't have to rob it. You go to the quarry, and they have a free pile.
Cue the payday music. We're
Yeah.
fucking heisting the quarry, boys.
Yeah, they have a free pile of shit you can just grab. So I'm going to go to the free pile. I'm going to get some big fucking block. I might even go, like, I'll actually contact the owner. I'm like, hey, can I get, like, some big fuckers? And then I'll just take it home and just, like, free form cut a sculpture. And then I'll give it to you, and then you can sell it at a farmer's market. And I'll give you a cut.
Okay, wait. You're saying we're not heisting a quarry?
Well, we can, yeah. Sure. That's a great mask.
Thank you.
How often do you have sex with that mask?
Anyway, we're
It's-
going to...
I'm a little turned on right now. It's like I got a thing for America. Oh, holy shit, dude. What the fuck? This is like a hockey mask. This is like
bulletproof.
No, it's not.
That's the point. It's for heisting banks.
It's not bulletproof. This is not Kevlar. That's dope. That thing's
It's not just plastic.
that thing's properly thick, and it's got padding and like a quadruple strap across the back of the head. That's some serious shit. Yeah, that'd be great. You get punched in the face with that, that's fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice. Okay, let's go rob a. You've convinced me. Let's rob a quarry.
I'm putting
the mask did it for me.
Okay.
Dude, that would be like, honestly, the best road rage thing you could ever have. I mean, this for Canada. For the States, you just need a shotgun.
Yeah, you'll get killed, right?
Yeah, you just need a shotgun. That's the number one way to get killed, is just road rage, which is hilarious. Fuck you guys. Just have that mask like in your door pocket, and then like one of those like mini baseball bats that truckers use for checking their tires, and just like get out of your car with that mask on and the mini baseball bat, and everyone will fucking like, you look unhinged. You're like, I am ready to commit crimes on camera
now, today,
right fucking now.
Yeah.
Roll up to me. What's gonna happen? What, are you gonna punch me in the mask? Like, you're gonna hurt your hand. That is like a 10 out of, like, if you're, just bring it to the bar.
Have you not seen that of mine? It's been in that bar.
I've seen
for
it
like,
there, but
yeah.
I didn't realize like how fucking.
Oh yeah, no,
I thought it was like one of those like paper thin
No,
plastic.
it is a proper mask, and
then,
it has like the whole like 4
Yeah.
straps in the back, so
Yeah.
it doesn't fall off when you're fucking stealing shit.
And punching people,
You're like
or getting punched.
yeah, climbing over fucking fences and shit.
True.
Yeah, yeah.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, yeah.
Yeah, bring that to the club, pull it out of your man purse, and then just like square up to a guy. That would be a very alpha.
Okay, so
thing to do.
what kind of statue? What are we talking about here? What size?
I'm
How
thinking
big
like,
is it?
well, I mean, it depends on the piece of rock I get, but like anything from like, a wine bottle size to something that's like maybe even like a pedestal, something you put like fucking flowers on, or like an expensive vase, or
But like,
or
okay,
just like
so
a random freeform statue. It just kind of depends on like, I would go like various sizes, and as far as like shape and styling, just kind of like abstract modern art.
what is in your mind? What is your price range?
Oh, it's gonna be high,
Yeah, so I don't know if farmers markets are the place to sell them.
but I think the exposure would be cool.
Okay.
So you'd like put a fucking wine bottle on it. But I do intend to, because I know where to find the artsy community locally. But one of my uncles, he does chainsaw carvings,
Yeah.
and he sells them for like over $1,000 and up.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And like, I just like talk to him.
Well, there's a
So
bunch.
if I can make like a G on a statue, that'd be dope. But I want to shoot for big, because there was actually a legendary bronze sculptor.
Yeah. Yeah.
From our city.
Zach's grandparents have one of his originals
They have multiple
in their
of his
yard.
originals.
Yeah.
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 But Leo Mole, look him up.
Well, yeah. They have a whole dedicated section to him in our park.
Yeah, out of the last
Yeah.
like 50 to 100 years, he's considered one of the best brass sculptors in the world.
Not that it's a huge like. There's Leo Mold, and there's like Billy Bob Bronze.
Yeah.
And I can't even name a second one. So
Billy Bob Bronze. Yeah, so I'm gonna be Tyler
Tyler the Bronze or
Tyler from Tyndall. Tyler
Just
Just Tyndall.
change
Tyler
it.
the Tyndall.
You know how when
You just change your name, yeah.
you know how in WWE. So I don't like wrestling and I don't care about it, but I've gone down multiple wrestling rabbit holes recently
Yeah.
because I find it fascinating.
Yeah.
That more people watch fucking wrestling in America than like people watch football.
Yeah.
But anyway, they always bill you from a cool sounding place, not actually where you're from.
Right.
So you could be like, yeah, I'm not actually from Morley, Manitoba. I'm from Tyndall, Manitoba.
That would be funny, actually. Yeah. I'll get a PO box there.
It's like that's how I really fell in love with these stones, because I used to sleep in them.
Yeah.
When I was a kid.
homeless.
Yeah, when I was homeless in Tyndall, Manitoba.
But no, I'm thinking on in the form of like, when I'm just doing like regular tile work, residential, commercial, whatever, our base rate for me to show up is $500 a day.
Yeah.
So $500 for 8 hours.
So that's what, $75 an hour?
Yeah, on top of materials.
Not quite.
Yeah. So roughly 500 a day. And if I'm going to spend, a couple days on this thing, I'll use that as a basis of
Benchmark.
pricing,
That's what I tell people all the time. Like,
and then I'll double it.
calculate your time. Like, if I can do my rule of thumb is $100 an hour.
Yeah.
If I and not just for me, but if an event can profit $100 an hour, it's worth going to.
Yeah.
For my company at least.
Yeah. And my thing is though, so if I'll do my rough math on this because I'm not an artist, and then there's no market for anything that I make. But until there is, I'll just put it out there at a really high price, and I don't care if I sell it because I was going to do this for fun.
You can just have it on your fucking nightstand. We'll put one in the background here.
No, I was just going to make them for fun and give them away.
Word.
Because I was doing this for like a creative outlet.
Do you think you can get them? Like, I don't know why I'm doubting you, but I feel like you're not good at like if I told you to make a squirrel, you couldn't make something that looked like a squirrel. You'd make a fucking
No,
like
I'm not,
cylinder.
No,
with like
that's the thing. I'm not going for any realism like that. But if you want, like, if I think about something that's like,
so you couldn't really take customs though.
What do you mean? Like
people couldn't really
no.
like ask you to make something because you don't know how to fucking make anything.
No,
Okay.
no, I'm not going to do that. Like, this is the whole point. Is like I'll make what I make, and you can like commission like an idea. And you get what I get, you take it. Like
I can cut this out if you want me to, but do a bunch of LSD and then fucking start cutting these things.
Oh, absolutely.
Like,
no, don't cut that out.
Okay.
Yeah.
You could probably we've never done illicit drugs before and we don't plan on it.
No, I am confident using power tools in LSD. Here's the reasoning. Because the other day, like, I use an angle grinder which runs at about like 9,000 RPMs and with a diamond blade on it. But the thing is, a diamond blade is pretty much like a smooth steel blade with like tiny little diamond bumps on it. It's not actually that dangerous. So I was cutting something the other day, and it grabbed the material that I was cutting, and it fucking rammed it into my hand, like high speed, hard hit, right into like my thumb knuckle, like hard. And I burned off like the top layer of my skin. Like, it was less than skinning your knees on, the floor when you fall. Like, not even concrete. Like, it was like just literally one layer of skin. Like, it was healed within a day. Like, it's not fucking dangerous, any of this stuff. So I can get really high and fuck around with it.
I'm just saying,
and not
like,
worry.
I'm just thinking like that would be your spiritual, like, you wake up and you've made a perfect squirrel and you're like, I can't do this.
That'd be hilarious
in real life, but like
Yeah.
I felt the vibrations of the world, right? Like,
I could definitely see myself like microdosing and doing this. Like,
I haven't seen it, but that new movie with Nicolas Cage where it's like a biography, but it's like a parody biography where it's like the unbearable weight of talent or whatever.
yeah, the unbearable weight of incredible talent.
Yeah, and it's what's his name? Pedro Pascal's in it. Who I love, by the way. Great in Narcos, great in Star Wars.
Great in everything.
He's
And
great. I love
also
him.
in
He's a cutie. He's in that new Last of Us show.
yeah, Last of Us. Yep,
So
definitely hot.
I love him. But anyway, he's in it, and he's using like a Hispanic accent, and he has this like eyedropper, and Nicolas Cage is like, "What is that?" And he's like, "Divine inspiration, my friend."
Unbearable
And
weight of
it's-
massive talent.
Okay. He's like, "What is that?" And he's like, "Divine inspiration, my friend." And it's LSD. Like,
Yes.
yeah, I haven't seen it, but it's on my watch list. Don't spoil it, guys, in the comments.
I think that's something to be like, I don't know, call it a competitive edge. That's just art.
Well, okay, not even art. The Beatles, I mean, that makes sense. They attributed writing their most famous songs in LSD.
Yeah.
I think the one most relevant to us, to business people listening to this, is Steve Jobs.
Yeah.
Lived in a house with no furniture
Yeah.
and would just do LSD and lay on the floor. And that's how he envisioned like the Macintosh
Yeah.
was doing that. So I thought that was interesting because like it makes sense for like music and like stuff. Like I feel like hallucinogens, like any hallucinogenic drug, I feel like it's a very good way to connect to like the the universe and nature.
Yeah.
But like it's fascinating to hear like Steve Jobs connect to like computers with it. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like which that just shows I think how not normal his brain was,
Right.
which is awesome. Like
Well, my not normal brain, when I do it,
if
allegedly,
we were ever gonna,
an allegedly shitload of psychedelics,
which we never would,
is
obviously.
I really like the just kind of like elemental. This is the way I thought about it. Elemental interaction, where you're just like you're touching the earth, you're touching dirt, you're touching nature, and like touching 400 million year old limestone, and carving it, and like I'm thinking about doing like hand tools, like hammer chisel, or like super sharp
and
chisels,
those
like Michelangelo.
those
used.
TikToks
Yeah.
are gonna be fucking wild. If
Exactly.
you can time lapse that shit, people
I will, yeah.
eat that up.
Yeah,
People
no,
would
I'll-
love that.
I will make videos of this, and like high quality videos of this, of the process, and I will market this through whatever. But I think I could probably legitimately make a 6-figure business out of just like getting high and fucking around with rocks.
So
Because I have legitimate skill for precision, and I've got a bunch of weird ideas in my head of like stuff that I've seen. And there's one tool that I think would really make it easier that I could buy, which is like a diamond bandsaw, which allows you to cut in like all directions and make really, really intricate designs, which is not that expensive. And if I got it, it would be probably it would be 100% a business write-off to begin with. But like I can market it to the existing clients that I have, because the clients that I have
want shit like that for their house.
well, they're motherfuckers that spend $1 million on art.
Yeah.
So, and there's a local art gallery. There's multiple local art gallery. The more I think about this, actually, the better it gets. So one of my employees is
Dude, Pine Ridge, you could probably sell them at, I bet.
yeah. One of my employees is one of the like premier art curators of Winnipeg. I could literally pay her to create a gallery and get a crowd.
Well,
She works for Winnipeg Art Gallery and
we could do
Cinematheque. And
we
all
could do an
those.
event in my bar.
Yeah,
That'd be fun.
fuck it.
So now that you've been talking about it, do I still get to be a partner? I feel like you've
Yeah.
talked your way out of that.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Help me sell it.
I would love to. So here's like my thing.
Doing this shit alone is boring. Like you
I'll-
could be my agent. You can, because here's the thing. Number one,
Don't talk to the artist.
no,
I'll be like, you know.
number one, I'm going to be on drugs the whole time, so I look like super autistic or something. Number two,
I'll bleep that out.
you yeah, bleep that word out. Number two, you have to wear the top hat.
Yeah, down. Everywhere. I'll never have a public sighting with me without the top hat.
No, just like specifically with anything involving this.
Everything on the website is me with the top hat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's it. Those are all the rules. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's it.
So I'll tell you a little bit more off camera, but one of the things I want to do, I don't have like New Year's resolutions, but I really want to just start a couple more revenue streams.
Yeah.
Not really side hustles, but like I'd love to partner with a couple different people. So I was kind of saying like making a business to 20 grand a year
Yeah.
is pretty easy.
Yeah.
Like I don't think even people like I don't think anyone can argue with me on that.
Yeah. I make one $1,500 statue every month or two.
Even like fucking liberals that hate businesses, like I don't
Yeah.
think you can argue with me that making like 10 to 20 grand a year at a business
Yeah.
is really fucking easy. Like I could like my wine, I mean, obviously I'm established now, but we would make like if I pulled my shit out of stores
Yeah.
and just had my store open like 5 days a week, I'd make 20 grand from just people walking in.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so
Retail outlet with a Google listing.
yeah, like I feel like I don't want to be a dick when I say that because
20 grand a year is 15 below poverty.
yeah, no, like that's what I'm saying. It's not a ton of money,
Yeah.
right? But I make like 35 grand a year right now.
Right.
Like to live off of, which is not a lot, right?
Yeah.
Which is poverty line basically.
So you want to make another 35 grand a year doing
But-
some bullshit.
So I'd love to just be like make a couple businesses that I have to work 10 hours a week on
Yeah.
that I could make 10 grand on,
Yeah.
right? And do that a few times and then it'd be fun because like I get bored with things quick.
Yeah.
And like not bored where I like give up and like put them on the shelf, but just like bored where I get more depressed.
Yeah.
Where like with my business, I just every 6 months, that like if you're a listener to this or you obviously know me, like I get like I just feel like I'm going through the motions and I get fucking whatever. But then like I start a new project, like I started happening to me with the business, and then it was like, oh, now we can do events and stuff. So we started doing events, and then it was like I started getting bored, and then it was like, oh, we can open a bar. So I opened a bar, and we just like, so I go through waves with my winery.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, I get kind of bored from things, and then I want to, change it up and do whatever. So like being able to do little side projects, like little passion projects, I think would be fun. But one of the biggest things that I struggle with is accountability, right?
Right.
That's the thing that really helped me get this business off the ground, like my winery. Like we do $400,000 a year right now, and that's mainly because when we were starting and we didn't make any money and we had just money out and we had no revenue, the reason why I got up and worked 18 hours every day was because, well, there's a bunch of reasons, but one of the biggest reasons was like, Zach's gonna fucking yell at me if I don't.
He will,
right?
You don't take no shit.
You fucking idiot! Missed the meeting, right? Like so.
Just the, like, I love that analogy because like everyone can think of that person in their life. Like if I don't get up, they're gonna fucking yell at me, and
it's
I gotta sit there and take it.
It's more work to explain to him, than just going up and doing the job. So I'll just fucking do the job.
But also the fact that like if you're gonna have to explain to someone the fact that you slept in for 15 minutes for no reason.
No, and so just him,
or for 2 hours.
And like I hope that he feels like this too, but like just keeping each other accountable. Yeah. That helped us, or at least like I can only speak for me, but like that helped me start that business. That helped me get up every single day, and that helped us get to, I have 6 employees and we do $400,000 a year. Like that's not nothing.
And that's why I want to do the sculpting thing like with your help, because if I go it's going to take a ton of emotional energy and motivation, like just to get to the point of sourcing this stuff and making something, creating it, executing, whatever. We get to the second half of selling it. That's usually where people run out of gas.
Yeah. Like
either they're really good at selling shit and promoting shit, or they're good at making it. But like pulling through the entire process is really difficult. And it's like, I don't think you can, if it's a passion project especially, I don't think you can really excel at both.
That's why people,
unless it's a full-time thing.
But dude, that's why people get jobs, because they can do one thing.
Well, that's
they can
why
get a
artists,
job in sales, or they can get a job at making, right?
That's why artists have agents.
Yeah,
period.
for sure.
It's not a thing for no reason.
No, for sure. And that's like, I have 2 or 3 relatively serious projects that I want to start on the side to make money that like I'm capable of. And like one of them I have to make a video to. I won't get too, I don't like talking about stuff on publicly until I actually start it. But there's one that I have to like make a video to explain what I'm doing on a website. Yeah. To like start the business. And I filmed that video 3 months ago. Yeah. And I just haven't edited it. Yeah. Because I'm like, but I like, and I could probably edit it, post it, start promoting that business, and probably make a couple $100 a month in profit. Which I mean is, but that pays for my fucking phone bill and my, food or whatever, right? Like it's,
it's not nothing.
It's not nothing. And with not much, with like an hour more a week of work for me. Yeah. And like, but I just haven't, because I couldn't be fucked. Or like, you know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know. I guess like I wish I was more ambitious. Like I'll hear people talk like, I know it was controversial right now, but Andrew Tate, accused rapist. And I've said this to you, but I'll say it publicly. I ironically, or almost unironically, supported Andrew Tate. I kind of like his whole thing where he's just pissing everybody off.
That like, part, I agree with you. With that part, I am 100% on board.
I love the like, you're a broke. He's like, ha ha ha, and then he just like looks at the camera and stops laughing. Like the shit like that, I love. Yeah.
But the whole like human trafficking women and like keeping them captive at his house and lying about how much money they make.
I will, for the record, right now, he's in custody of the Romanian police.
We protested.
We did protest. We actually went to Romania. But
I mean, there was a few police officers that went missing. that was like completely unrelated.
They saw me in the clown mask.
I mean, if you see those clips, please send them to us.
Yeah, so I actually, for the record, will say I don't think he did it.
Which
The rape.
Which one?
Any of them.
There's like 11 to 15 of them.
So I don't know.
I don't know if it's
but
it's a lot of them.
But here's what I'm gonna say is that if I'm proven wrong, I will concede
without contest.
And
Yeah.
not. So like I said this to you off camera. When Martin Shkreli went to jail,
Yeah.
I bought a shirt that said "Free Shkreli,"
Yeah.
and that's mostly a meme.
Yeah.
But I would not buy a shirt that says "Free Tate" right now.
Right.
Right. So
I
that's where
think,
my mind.
I think the Tate case, it's probably on the fence whether or not he sexually assaulted anyone or raped anyone. But the fact that he is explicitly coercing and manipulating and controlling people in order to like make money for it's a really deeply complex thing. It's
It is very.
it could be consensual
because a lot of the sex trafficking in quotation stuff with the cam girling and stuff, I don't like. I think I said this on the podcast, or maybe I said it in the mastermind, but when liberals especially are getting on Twitter and being like, this guy's fucking abusing women because he's facilitating them cam girling and then taking a prop, like whatever.
Yeah.
I don't like that because it's, number one, you tweeting that, there's going to be people that are uneducated about sex work that are like, see, sex work is rape, right?
Yeah.
So I don't like that in general. But then also, you know, if you're going to like, I hate the like, okay, so capitalism is fine, right? You can have, like, leftists can have the opinion, like, I keep fucking going back and forth between being a communist and a fascist, if we're being honest, right?
Well, as I say, I'm a radical centrist.
Yeah, so, you know, you can have the opinion that capitalism is bad and that, you know, exploited, like, extra wages are stolen, right?
Right.
I respect that opinion, right? But why is it these people think that me going to work at Starbucks, that's not stealing excess labor, but if a boss takes money from someone doing sex work, that is sexual assault.
Well, I mean, maybe some...
That's a logically inconsistent argument, and I don't respect it.
Yeah, maybe some middle class centrists believe that, but I don't think anyone on the left or the right would believe that.
I see a lot of that, though.
Yeah, which is the middle of the road fucking centrist.
Which is everybody. 10% on either side and then fucking 80% in the middle, right?
Yeah, that's
it's
fair.
Or no, well, okay, 10% on either, no, 5% on either side, 30% in the middle, and then everyone else is apolitical.
Yeah,
right.
So here's my perspective in terms of like.
But just want to finish. If he did rape somebody, like with evidence, I
fucking bury him with rocks.
Yeah, my ironic support of the guy, because I think he's entertaining, will completely stop.
Yeah.
But I don't think that the camgirling stuff is sex trafficking.
In its own
way.
No.
Because remember, Romania, where he's from and operating this kind of shit, is a fucking Christian as fuck.
Yeah.
They're
like Christo-fascist.
99% of people, they have a king, I think. It's like they have morality laws.
Yeah.
Where it's like, if you're fucking doing sex work, it's illegal because girls shouldn't do that, right? So like,
right, they have sex work laws, but they do not have rape laws
because men
rape
can
is
rape,
fine.
Because men can rape women.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's fine. So
which is why you move there.
I'm not going to...
Well, he explicitly said in one of his fucking videos, he's like, I moved to Romania because of sex... Like, I'm not going to get charged with rape here for doing what I'm doing in the UK.
Yeah, because in the UK you can get charged with it because you're facilitating sex work.
No, it's...
Which I don't think should be illegal.
No, it's because if you're, like, coercing someone, if they find... Like, it goes like... There's the first layer of, like, okay, you physically assault someone and force them to have sex with you.
Yeah.
The second layer of that is you add on maybe like psychopathic or sociopathic manipulation, and you get someone to have sex with you in a way that they're like not entirely comfortable with, but they consent to, but immediately they regret and they're like, oh, I was absolutely like forced in that situation. Yeah. That's like the next level. That's where the UK is at. That's where that's where most developed nations are at. So, where it's like you can call that rape because it was like there wasn't there was like another. It wasn't just this brutal assault. It wasn't physical
Well,
force. It was this next level, and that's where he exists because they have what they call like the pretty boy. What do they call it? The pretty boy technique, where he basically plays the boyfriend and pretends to seduce these women, as like love bombs them, showers them with all this affection and praise, and is like, you know what, you can work for me, you can make all this money. And sure, he probably pays them a lot of money, but one of the things he also explicitly says in his training is you tell them they make, you made $5,000 today, but they made 20.
Yeah.
And you're paying them 20%. So you pay them 20% of $5,000, but they made 20 and you pocket the rest.
But then I guess my counterpoint is that if you think that's wrong, do you think all capitalism is wrong?
Well, no,
some critics do.
It's the straight up lying and fraud on top of capitalism that pushes past what's okay. If you're transparent about, okay, you made this many dollars today,
and this is what
I take a 20% rip.
Yeah.
If you lie about how much they made today, and you cut that by half, and then you take a 20% rip plus all the shit they don't know about, that's fraud.
I agree with that.
I believe he crosses that line, and he does it with sex work, and in addition...
But if he wasn't doing it with sex work, this wouldn't be an issue.
Right. Correct.
Which I have a fundamental problem with.
So it's in this fucking gray area. If he was doing this in construction, he'd be fine.
Here's one other thing I'll say is that they, in quotations...
Thank you for clarifying, because all the fucking right-wingers almost got horny there.
Okay. The United States government lobbied rape allegations against Julian Assange.
Oh, God. Right.
So that were completely false.
Right.
But
Agreed.
But they said that rape was an extraditable offense.
Right.
So, hey, fucking wherever he was, Albanian embassy. Where was he? Ecuadorian? It was definitely Ecuador. Hey, Ecuadorian embassy, send him back because he raped somebody.
Right.
And it came out, it was completely fabricated.
Right.
So are these people incapable of saying to somebody they don't like, they raped somebody, because 99.9% of people think that rape is a heinous crime, and obviously I do as well, but is it beyond the realm of possibility that they're saying, okay, Andrew Tate is pretty much leading a cult that could maybe start destabilizing some of us, and he's in a country that doesn't do extradition?
Yeah.
Is it possible that they could lobby fake charges against this guy?
It's possible, but
that's kind of where I'm sitting.
Say it's a little bit of it's not really an apples to apples thing, because Julian Assange did expose the military of America.
But like if you gave me 30 minutes on a computer, I could give you 100 other people that have been falsely accused by the state because of something they did that they didn't like.
No,
that's just the one that's coming off the top of my head.
No, you're right about that, but I also am not basing my opinions on that. I'm basing my opinions on the fact, like, I've listened to this. This may sound kind of dumb, but like I come from the space of online coaching. I used to sell online coaching for, it averaged at $1,000 per man hour. Total horseshit. All of it. And everything that he's doing reflects that practice, that industry.
Andrew Tate.
Yeah. Everything Andrew Tate's doing. Thanks, Old Smoky. Everything Andrew Tate's doing is like fits into that mold. So he's doing that, which makes sense with his what do they call it? The what's his
Hustlers University.
Yeah, Hustlers University bullshit, which is terrible.
Well, so here's the thing, and it's gonna sound like I'm just sucking Andrew Tate's dick, but I'm trying to get a objective. The same way I believe Trump should be in power, I think Andrew Tate should be free, if that makes any sense. But Hustlers University was like his test run.
Yeah.
He has this thing now called the Real World.
Okay.
It's another Matrix reference where you escape to the real world. So the Hustlers University was just like a Discord server.
No, it was courses.
So what it was, CoffeeZilla did a great video on it where he joined Hustlers University to see if it was a scam or not.
Yeah.
So it was a Discord server where you would go into different servers, like different channels, and you could do courses with people, and it was like barely any Andrew there. Yeah. It was mostly other professionals.
Which is kind of the genius of it.
Which they did like, drop shipping and,
It's an MLM basically.
Well, so
it's an MLM scheme where
it's-
Tate pays these guys a commission to pay up to sign up other guys for memberships.
So here's the thing. So not just, but so people understand what the actual thing was. It was probably 12 basic courses, drop shipping, copywriting, all this shit. That the YouTube videos I've watched of people reviewing the course, they're like, it's not what they promise. Like,
it's just the same old trash.
Drop shipping is a shitty business model, but they are teaching you how to drop ship.
Yeah, they are explaining that.
So
they are explaining the dumb idea.
It's not a fraud. It's
overtly,
But so here's where the referral thing came in. So if you're listening to this and you like business, you've probably had random Andrew Tate videos.
Sign up for Andrew Tate at votewillows.com/Tate.
So you've probably...
That's his link, affiliate link.
You've probably had Andrew Tate videos come up on your algorithm all the time.
Yeah.
Right? And they're always from different
Willows.
small accounts with no followers. And because he got banned from everything. He's banned off Meta. He's banned off Twitter. Or he was. Now he's back. But he was banned off everything. So how do you keep seeing these videos? So it was genius.
Yeah.
Was that the referral program was that if you started posting him and got referrals from it, you would get months free for every person you signed up.
Yeah.
So all these fucking people that were paying, whatever it was, $100 a month for the course would make an account called like Cobra Tate Fan 726.
Yep.
And then post videos of him.
Yep.
Get one referral, get a month free, and then it was genius because everyone would just do that.
Yeah. He's banned off of all social media.
He's back to Twitter now because Elon let him. But
thanks, Elon.
Honestly, thanks, Elon. He just keeps since he's been in prison. I don't know how he's a phone, but he's a phone apparently.
It's fine.
Or maybe his lawyer's doing it. But he's just been tweeting Quran passages where he's like Allah like treats the like tests the people he thinks is the most worthy and stuff like that. My favorite was he's like, I've been in jail for 30 days. That means 30 days off caffeine. I can let you know that there is absolutely no benefit for a caffeine-free life.
Yeah.
Caffeine is a miracle drug and you should be drinking caffeine. And that was the tweet. It was like, okay.
I like that.
So funny. Because there's too many people, business gurus, that are like, you got to live clean. I love that he's like, there's no downside to caffeine. Got to do it.
Yep. Yeah. Fuck the no-fap libertarians.
And I think that's funny, which is why I want to believe that he's innocent. But
see, this is where I get off with guys like Tate and guys like Stefan Arnio, who I used to work with and was intimately familiar with.
Yeah, lived in his house, like, yeah.
There's a limit between that guy and see the surface level. 90% of what you say or what he says you can agree with.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, this makes sense. The ethics of this, the morality of this, it makes sense. The final 10% is they push past
and then they rape
that
somebody.
point of criminality.
Allegedly.
The difference between I'm going to speak with this person and I'm going to use the fact that they are completely dedicated to their spouse and in love with them and want to provide for them and want to be better and do better and like live a better life, and that's good. I'm going to use that and help them achieve that, versus I get off on these cucks who get embarrassed in front of their wives because they can't fucking feed them the way that I could. There's a difference.
For sure.
And I think Tate crosses that line.
I think a lot of times, though, he's being intentionally hyperbolic.
No, I agree, but I think that falls inside the 90%.
Dude, I'm fucking intentionally hyperbolic. What did I say about 9/11 earlier? Like,
no.
So that's
I agree.
why I kind of like.
With that in mind, I still believe that Tate crosses the line into unironic abuse, because what happens with these people, the same with Stefan Arnio and all these other fuckers, is eventually they believe the shit that they're saying and they use it in real life. And he went from like, okay, I'm gonna help this girl get rich, blah blah blah, and then transitions to, no, I can actually just take advantage of them. And because he's a sociopath and a narcissist, he will.
Which I think, yeah.
And he feels nothing about. and he, like, this is the mindset of a narcissistic sociopath, or just straight up serial killer vibe. Like, I'm thinking like Ted Bundy and Dahmer. They don't see a difference in the two, which is why they cross that line. And eventually, and you always see it in this inflection point of success. And if someone is genuine, it'll be pretty easy to see that their trajectory stays the same. But like with Tate, at a certain point, he broke and he went past this sense of morality that he pretended to have, and they start believing their own bullshit. And they really just think about the fact that, like, if I can manipulate this person, they deserve it, and therefore anything I can get away with is justified. Period. Full stop. So if anything they can get away with is justified, and they're extremely skilled at doing those things, and it's in the gray area of morality, and some people believe it, some don't, and you're getting love bombed, and you're making some money, and you're living a better life than you had, and you're doing all this stuff, you will become effectively a slave to that person. And they know it. They know that you're a slave to them, but they don't respect the fact that you feel that way. They will instead use you to the best of their abilities, and they will push you until you break. And I think Tate's one of those people that pushes people till they break. He's not one of those people that says, I'm going to help you, I'm going to do this, I'm going to manipulate you, but we're both going to win. I think he pushes it past that limit, just based on how he talks, based on my experience with someone who's exactly the same person. So that's why I believe it. It's not because the fucking media is like, oh, this guy's a rapist, whatever, he does sex trafficking, the cam girls, whatever, he made millions. I think he is an actual bastard that's crossed the line. And I think ironically, he taunted, I think he's also dumb. Because that's the thing about these people, is they're so confident in themselves, they're so smart, they're so good, is they're actually fucking idiots with certain things. And I think Tate taunted the Romanian government, says, you can't fucking catch me. They investigated him, and then he like openly discussed crimes on his phone, and they had wiretaps. I think they have him dead to rights. Like, the odds that he doesn't go to prison for a long time, very slim.
Which is why I'm interested why they haven't charged him officially yet.
Because I think the case is evolving. I think they arrested him on some pretenses, but I do believe something will land.
Which I don't think you should be able to do. Well, I don't know.
I'm not saying the state doesn't have an overreach
Take
here.
him completely out of the picture. I don't like the fact that you can like arrest somebody on a hunch and then try to get evidence. That's not okay.
Well,
I don't know.
Welcome to the criminal justice
Well,
system.
no, and that's what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
So I'm not going to defend him. He doesn't need my defense, but my gut says he's pissing off the wrong people.
Yeah.
Because I piss off the wrong people.
No, that's also true. I would also agree with that.
And
the hot take here is Tate is a nuanced case, and that will make people angry.
Yeah.
In itself, because
it's
there's like some good, some bad, which is why everyone is upset about it, because the extreme left and the extreme right both see something, and all the centrists see something else.
Because I say ridiculous, over the top things on purpose, but I also haven't raped anybody, right?
Yeah,
so
and I know how you feel about people that commit sexual assault, and there's no tolerance there.
No, of
Period.
course not. So
we also know people that are sex workers, and we're like, yeah, cool, dude.
But I wouldn't be defending him if I thought for a second that he actually sexually assaulted somebody. And you can vouch for me with that because you know things about my personal life that I wouldn't tolerate that.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm coming from. I'm not coming from, don't call me a fucking rape apologist, because I'm not.
We actually got no tolerance for that shit. But
and it's deeper than you can, but the listener.
But the deep state, though.
I'm just always fucking skeptical when it comes to this shit.
Yeah.
Right? So
be skeptical, but also don't be a shill and ask your own questions. But yeah, my personal take from someone that is worked with one too many sociopaths in his life, I think Tate's a motherfucker. And convincingly enough that it's just like, I don't need to spend any more energy into this person.
I am not convinced, but I am open to the idea because he does seem like I have a pretty, trying to word this correctly, I have a pretty decent power fetish where
Fair.
I need to be sexually and non-sexually, where I need to be in control of things.
Yeah.
What did you call me one time? You said I'm what did you say? I quoted it for the podcast. You said I'm like not a fuck. You said like I'm not a yeah, fuck. My response was like, yeah, I want to do everything myself, but badly. You're like, Willows isn't a perfectionist. He's a narcissist or something. Something like it wasn't narcissist. It was like something like, you're not a perfectionist. You're a something. And I'm like, yeah, I want to do everything myself, but badly. Like,
Yeah.
fuck. So I understand wanting to be in control of all aspects of your life and then sexually as well. I empathize with that. But I could understand how, because I've known people like that, I could understand how that could go too far.
Yeah.
So I could see, like, if cut and dry evidence came out that Andrew Tate did in fact rape somebody, I would be like, yeah, okay. And like, I'm not going to be like, this is obviously fake. Like, hey, okay. And then I'm going to stop talking about him.
Yeah.
But as of now, I'm not convinced.
I think he was probably like he might have been a not a great guy, but not a criminal.
Yeah, but
at some point. But I think
who's a fucking great guy? Like,
right. And I think at some point when he found, I think when he found the cam business, maybe the first girl or two is what he had that genuine interaction with that he describes, where it was empowering. But I think at some point he made enough money and he had enough personal power, he got a little hooked on it. And I think that addiction to power and money overtook, and he basically abandoned his morals because he didn't really have any to begin with. And he pushed it too far. He went over the line, and I think he crossed the line some years ago, and now it's catching up to him. That's what I think.
I am open to changing my mind to new information, but as of now, it's free Tate and
Hashtag free Tate.
hashtag free Cobra, and
Oh God.
we're gonna take this last shot here before we end the podcast.
Why not?
I don't actually know what time we're at because that's inaccurate because we were recording at the beginning when I had to change it.
Oh. Okay.
So,
Well,
this is anytime we take a shot that's under 40% on this podcast, we have to take a second one. So we are taking a second one. This one is the Mango Habanero one. So cheers, Tyler. Thanks for...
it's so spicy.
So the original concept of this podcast was that we would debate and argue.
Yeah.
And we found after like 5 episodes that we basically think the exact same way.
Most of the time.
Most of the time, so it evolved. But now I'm trying to like come back where we're not arguing and debating, but
Disagreeing.
I want to like, no, not even that, but like, I want to like evolve our minds as we get drunk.
Yeah.
Right? So like, fuck Netflix, right?
Yeah, dude. Fuck public interest. They didn't need to do this.
No.
The only reason they did what they did is because of their share price.
So
Period.
that's...
If they were a private company owned by a guy who was broke and is now a billionaire,
He probably wouldn't even...
he wouldn't have done it.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you, yeah.
The only
Because they're worried about... Because when you release your quarterly and you say you have the same amount of subscribers, like, why
Yep.
didn't you grow?
Yeah.
Right?
So
So
who needs to fucking grow when you're making 1.7 billion a quarter?
yeah. So this is drunk.
That's it.
We've reevaluated our business discussion and we say fuck Netflix.
No, fuck public companies in general that should have stayed private.
I don't disagree with that.
But the money too good.
The money is too good. There was one more thing I was going to say before we end that I can't remember now. I was thinking, debating.
About
Oh yeah, no, that was actually a good debate where we were on opposite sides of the opinion. So
Yeah, with Tate,
we have not had that in a while. So I'm
Yeah.
glad. I might clip that entire thing and be like, Willows and Tyler get heated, all caps, over Andrew Tate, in all caps, debate with like a Photoshop. No, I already have a Photoshop picture of me, you, and Tate. So
Okay, perfect.
I'll throw that in.
I will be anti-Tate all day long.
I will be... like I said, I'm pro-Tate until the same way I'm pro-Trump. I don't care.
I will say this just as a litmus test. If he is pro or anti-LGBTQ,
we're against. Yeah.
he's against.
No, well, so here's the thing is that
There's no way that he's for.
when he was on Piers Morgan, Piers Morgan was like trying to bait him into saying something transphobic.
Yeah.
And he was like, and I'm not saying this is like, I'll admit, obviously you can fucking lie on an interview for 20 minutes and change, and say sound bites. But he was like, what do you think about trans rights? Do you think they should be able to and he's like, I don't know any trans people. And he's like, and then Piers is like, yeah, but, and then he's like, no, I don't, it doesn't affect me at all. I don't care what they do.
Right.
They should do what they do.
Libertarian, right?
He's like, I know gay people. They can do whatever they want. I like them. They're whatever. I don't know any trans people, so it doesn't affect me. He's like, I think the trans bathroom debate should be had between trans people.
Right.
And I shouldn't be involved.
Right. Yeah.
Which is where
like
Jordan Peterson lost me.
Yeah. Where he got involved.
I tweeted, I'll put it on the screen if I fucking found it. I tweeted in like 2015 that Jordan Peterson was one of the most intelligent people I've ever heard speak.
Yeah.
When I listened to one of his lectures, I was like, Jesus Christ, this guy's well spoken.
Yeah.
And he's Canadian, and I'm like, Christ. And I was on his side that first cancellation in quotation marks when he got, because he was like, they were trying to compel him to use people's pronouns. And he was like, I'm not going to be compelled. And then if you look at those interviews before he got famous, because I was watching these fucking lectures before he got famous, and now I can't watch them because I'm fucking tainted. He's pissed me off. But if you watch these before he got famous, or like famous, like when he had like 50,000 views, right? People, the interviewer asked him, do you actually, why wouldn't you call a trans person by their pronouns? And he's like, I do. In my classes, if they fucking tell me to switch pronouns, I do all the time. I just don't want to be compelled to do it. I don't want it to be a law. I'm anti-Canada because the Human Rights Tribunal was big at the time that Trudeau introduced.
Yeah.
So this was all controversial, and he was like, I just don't want it to be a law. But every student that's come in my fucking classroom, I respect their pronouns. And then, smash cut, 2 years later, interviewer asked him the same question. He's like, fuck these trans. He didn't say that, but he was basically like, they're delusional.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't respect them as much as I respect a schizophrenic person thinking the toaster's talking to them. And they're fucking brain dead. And I would never, and that's a man. And I'm like, where did this come from? And it's because he saw the fucking right-wing grifter money.
Yeah.
And he fucking...
It's a mentally ill person chasing the money. That's it.
And he fucking lost me.
Yep.
And for a second there, I was like, this is a well-spoken, individual who is not transphobic but is anti-government. And I'm like, I can get aboard that. And now he's just transphobic. So
I think I could write a book about the second you believe your own bullshit, you're fucking dead.
And
that's it. That's like that describes every one of these people that was okay and then turned to shit.
And so my point was going to be, Tate is in that state of flux right now.
Yeah.
Where he's like pro-trans because he doesn't care, but
is about to double down because he's turning Islam.
Yeah, learning from experience. I think he'll if he ever gets asked to rect again after this, if he's ever free,
he'll probably go fashy.
I think he'll go fashy with it, which I don't respect. So,
Andrew Tate was based.
Yeah.
Is now in prison.
Is now in prison. And Jordan Peterson, it was based, and now he's, I guess you could say he's still based, but well, now would you watch that episode just this week on Joe Rogan?
Of
him.
Oh, no.
He just went back on.
Oh, cool.
So I want to watch that in its entirety.
I will listen to it tomorrow.
Maybe at 2 times speed, but I want to watch that in its entirety because both of them, like Joe and him said it was like their best conversation they've ever had.
Hmm.
I want to see
What his take is.
if it was where his mind is.
Yeah.
I used to watch Joe Rogan every fucking week, and now I barely watch him anymore because he's done the same bullshit.
Yeah.
Where he used to just be like, I'm an idiot, but I have smart people on to say smart things. And then when COVID happened, he would just have a bunch of fucking bad COVID takes.
I think the problem with Rogan is... I don't think the problem with Rogan is Rogan. I think the problem with Rogan is his guests.
Dude, the best...
There's no deference.
No, the best thing was he was a meathead and he knew it.
No, I think
He's like, I'm just an idiot. I don't fucking know.
No, I think he still knows that he's a meathead, but I don't think his guests accept that.
Because that was my
'Cause
favorite
his
thing
guests
about him.
His guests are too intimidated by him.
Yeah,
and-
because
and-
everyone's scared of him.
And his spotlight. I think Rogan is...
I used to love Joe Rogan.
I think Rogan is fine, but I think his spotlight's too big.
I used to love him.
It's not.
Dude,
It's not too big for him.
I
It's too
have-
big for his guests.
if you look, I was just doing this actually the other day. We need to cut this down because we're almost done. But I was doing this the other day. I was looking on my old hard drive because I'm running out of space on my one hard drive, so I was like clearing out another hard drive to move shit over to. And I was looking at my old iTunes library, just out of curiosity,
Yeah.
because now I use fucking Spotify, right? And I have Joe Rogan Experience downloaded because you used to have to download podcasts on iTunes.
Yeah.
Like episode 80.
Damn.
When the first, you can look up this. I don't know if it was actually 80, but you can look up the first episode I ever listened to of Joe Rogan was Jean Lajoie on Joe Rogan. That was the first episode because I was a big Jean Lajoie fan, who's a Canadian comedian.
Oh,
He
yeah.
did those "Show Me Your Genitals," those songs.
No idea.
He was a comedian, and he was on Joe Rogan like way back when him and Brian Redband were doing it on like a fucking laptop.
Yeah.
Way back. That was the first episode I ever listened to. Sub 200 for sure. And I've basically been listening to it since then, and then until like COVID. And then I stopped listening
Right.
because it was just, and my favorite was mid-COVID when he had Bill Burr on. And he was like, yeah, but do you think these fucking vaccine... And then Bill Burr's just like, look at you, you fucking bald muscle head in front of an American flag with no fucking medical degree talking to another guy with no medical degree. He's
Yeah.
like, fuck you. Like, it's just like,
Yeah.
I like, fuck off.
But I didn't lose Rogan because I empathized with his position where he said, I had 2 friends who got the vaccine and had extremely adverse effects when I was about to get vaccinated, and I freaked out.
So I guess I'm just built different. I can take fucking 500 vaccines and be fine.
Somebody I work with got hospitalized, like ambulanced, because of the vaccines.
Well, maybe they're a pussy. You ever think of that?
Yeah.
Just get stronger. Like, you think a little fucking liquid and a little shot is going to affect me?
It's fine. It's just water.
Willows is a fucking killer.
It's 90% water.
You know what I drink? You know the kind of alcohol that goes in my fucking body? You think that vaccine's killing me? These people, oh, I'm shaking now because I got a vaccine 9 months ago. Pussy.
We've seen the booze.
Fuck you, man.
No, I know a guy who got hospitalized. He got cardiac arrhythmia, all this shit, because of the vaccines. Like, immediately after.
Yeah.
Was open shut case. And I was like, are you getting the booster? He's like, yeah. I'm getting the booster.
You're not boosted, are you?
I got the 3rd shot.
I got 2.
I got 3.
I got 2 and that's it.
Well, 3's fucking... It was easy. It's free.
I
Whatever. No resistance.
I kind of just gave up.
Oh, no. No. I got 2.
You sure?
Pretty sure.
Because I only got 2
I'm
for sure.
I'm 90%. Anyway,
I only got 2 for sure.
2 or 3 in that realm.
Because like Zach got 3 for sure.
I honestly don't know.
Yeah, he kept telling me to get the 3rd and I just never did.
Yeah.
My mother got her 6th and then got COVID when they were in France.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm kind of just like, now that the data's out, it's like I have no risk.
Don't bother.
I have literally 0 risk of getting. I got COVID, and I was vaccinated. So maybe if I was unvaccinated, it would have hurt more.
I got
Who
it
knows?
twice.
But I got COVID once, and I thought I was hungover.
Yeah, I got 18 hours of sick.
Yeah. I literally slept in. No, I went to work with COVID, feeling like shit because I thought it was a hangover because I had fucking got wasted the night before. And then I remember waking up at like 3 a.m. with chills.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is unusual.
This is my usual hangover routine.
I run hot, especially when I'm hungover.
Yeah.
I'm fucking sweating. And I was like cold. I was half asleep. And I pulled my blanket onto me. And then I was thinking like half asleep, like, why don't I have a second blanket? Like I could buy one on Amazon for $10. Why don't I have a second blanket? And then when I was like more lucid, I was like, no, I don't have a second blanket because I'm fucking hot all the time. And I fucking run hot and I sweat in my sleep. I'm like, wait, why was I cold? And then literally as I'm thinking that at work in my office, group chat goes, by the way, I just tested positive for COVID. You should check yourself. And everyone was like, me too, me too, me too, me too. And all of us got COVID at the same time. But I thought it was a hangover and I went to work. That's how bad it was.
Yeah.
Which is not bad.
Yeah.
And I was vaccinated, so maybe it would have been worse.
I'm about to collapse from a heart condition tomorrow, so check in with me next week.
Well, you see all these like athletes and shit that are just dying of probably the vaccine.
That's a lot of propaganda too.
Well, the
Because,
CDC said don't get boosted if you're under 65.
yeah, but
like
also athletes also collapse all the time because they're doing a lot of fucking drugs, and
That's fair. Yeah,
they're like in their mid-30s and they're working out a lot.
and they're doing cocaine.
And they're doing cocaine
Yeah,
and they're drinking a lot. It's
That's
like the collapse rate is not that different from what it's always been.
Let's not
I'm
any
not-
more talk about this. We're gonna get a COVID tag on the podcast. So
True. Fuck them.
um,
Fuck the vaccine. Fuck COVID. No, I said too many times. Believe it. So, in other words,
we're way over time.
fuck Tate. Thanks for listening. And yeah, I guess just subscribe to Will Ferrell.
What?
I'm looking at the card.
Thanks for listening. I'll copy on this point whenever. Come up with something else that me and Tyler can argue about because that was fun. That made way more content than we usually have. So that's good.
Thanks.
I'll see you next episode where we will schmaloose a goose.
We will schmaloosa goose.
Alcohol Beyond This Point podcast.
This isn't two podcasters talking business. This is two business guys trying to podcast.